Hey, loser. Long time no see. I'm wondering how you're doing right now after that incident. At least it seems to me that you're living the life of a decent human being. Excuse me? Look, you're not homeless anymore like you were 7 years ago. That's progress. The other day, I even saw you drinking a cup of coffee in that Starbucks near the bus station. But here's the thing, Cadence. You should be saving money right now instead of drinking coffee. I mean, if you're really that thirsty, you could ask for a glass of tap water in a restaurant. It's free. Don't get carried away just because you don't live on the streets anymore. You still have nothing but an overdrawn bank account, don't you? What do you want? Didn't you say that you'd never text me again? Don't give me the cold shoulder. I was just hoping to catch up with you. Your one and only best friend texted you after 7 years. Shouldn't you be happy? Come on. I know that you're not a mean person like you're acting like right now. Why should I be nice to you when you ruined my life? Leave me alone, or else I'll show you how it feels to be beaten to death. Are you being serious right now? Don't tell me that you're still holding a grudge against me for making a move on Ted. It's been 7 years. If I had a child, he would be in elementary school. So grow up and stop acting like a toddler. If I'm acting like a toddler, then you don't even count as a human being. Excuse me? I will never forgive you for stealing my husband from me. We'd known each other for the longest time. But you didn't even hesitate for 1 second back then before you kicked me out of my own house. I'm always going to remember what it felt like to sleep on that bench in the park. Well, you can only blame Ted for all this. After all, he was the one who made you sign the divorce papers. He was also the one who threw you out. Haha. Anyways, I still can't help but chuckle to myself about how you knocked on our door begging. Exactly. And you mocked me without any mercy next to Ted. What's more, you didn't even apologize to me throughout all these years. I know, right? But why would I? Tell you what, Ted told me that you're nothing but a housewife. So it's not necessary to apologize to someone who can't even earn money herself. He also said that it's your fault that he cheated on you. You've always been such a turn-off for him. Thanks to his determination and team of lawyers, you didn't get 1 cent in the divorce. See? That's why I laid hands on this man. Do you feel that satisfied for putting people through hell? You know well that I don't have any family members and relatives to rely on. I cried myself to sleep every day using a cardboard box as my bed on the streets. When I finally summoned up enough courage to request a new divorce asset division, I was told that I can no longer do so because 7 years have passed. My knees went out on me as soon as those words hit my ears, and I collapsed on the floor, reduced to tears. Well, life is unfair. Anyways, what becomes of you has nothing to do with me. Excuse me? All I know is that I had the greatest honeymoon trip one could ever ask for with my husband. I hope you can keep up this attitude of yours along with Ted. If I have to be completely honest with you, I don't know that the two of you can last this long. I'm not stupid enough to break up with the man for whom I went the extra mile to seduce. Don't forget that he's the department manager at a multinational corporation. If I want to live the life of a rich housewife, then he's my best shot. I mean, why do you even think I laid my hands on him? So I guess you still haven't realized what you have done. I mean, how can you be so brazen as to text me when you have no intention at all of saying sorry? You should be glad that I don't give a damn about the two of you at this point. In fact, I only wish you the best of luck with Ted.
Hi, Cadence. Long time no see. I heard it all from Kylie. It seems like you finally stopped receiving government aid.
Seriously, though, what do you guys want from me? I don't want to have anything to do with you and Kylie.
We know each other very well, though, don't we? I got in touch with you because I'm worried.
About me?
Kylie told me that you're no longer a hobo. Congrats! Anyways, did you find yourself a new man yet? Are you married or in a relationship?
No, I'm not. I'm traumatized by marriage at this point, thanks to Kylie and you. I plan to enjoy life alone from now on.
That's just sad. Your life will only get more and more miserable considering the fact that you're now broke and divorced. With that being said, I'll lend you a hand. I know many pretty decent dudes.
No, I don't need your help.
You know, I've always felt kind of guilty about what you had to go through. You've been a housewife ever since we first got married. So how can you survive without a man by your side in the days to come? I mean, you are welcome to ask me if you need anything. I'm not as much of a jerk as you think.
Excuse me?
I'll set you up for a blind date with one of my buddies. What do you say about that? He's actually my boss, too. Although he's 50 years old right now, he's still single. You can marry him and start a new chapter in life. I mean, he's like 20 years older than you. But the good thing is that he doesn't mind taking in a divorced woman as his wife.
I was expecting you to set me up with a 10 out of 10 guy or something. I would have never known that it's some old grandpa from work. Seriously though, stop poking fun at me. I am not you and Kylie's plaything.
Look, my boss might not be the brightest man out there, but he's still my superior. This means that he's a top earner. What's more, he can give you all the freedom and luxuries you want. Are you sure that you want to miss out on this perfect opportunity to rise from rags to riches? I'm telling you right now that this is not the time to be picky. You can't even put food on the table currently. Am I right?
It's not okay to make a fool out of people like this. Your boss and I did nothing wrong. We are totally fine with being single. There's nothing bad about the path we chose. Please, I'm begging you. Delete all of my contacts. I've had enough of your toxicity up until now. Plus, I will get married or date someone when I feel like it.
Yo, Cadence! Look at the sky outside your window right now. It's literally stunning. What an awesome day to have fun outside. Am I right? Anyways, what are you up to? Are you available today or tomorrow? Let me know your schedule so I know when to ring you up for a girls' night out. Actually, do you want to hang out right now? I'm bored. We can just hurry back before Ted is done with work. But he usually comes home like around 6 or 7 in the evening.
Excuse me? Don't you feel ashamed for asking me out? I have no problems with you living your life to the fullest, but don't involve me.
You know, one thing about being a housewife is that you have way too much free time every day. With that being said, you get to appreciate the littlest things in life that you normally would ignore if you have a 9-to-5 job. I mean, we didn't even get a chance to talk more last time. Although you said that you don't want to have anything else to do with me, I know that you're just throwing a tantrum. Come on, let's do something fun together like shopping. I booked an appointment to get my nails done. You can tag along if you like.
I can't. I'm busy. What's more, I don't like to spend money I didn't earn. I'm a human being, not a parasite. But you can do whatever you want, of course. Also, I don't want to hang out with you. Birds of a feather flock together. You know what I'm talking about, right? Mrs. Smart Alec.
Oh, right. Are you busy with work by any chance? Where do you even work at? Don't tell me that you're a restaurant server or something. Sorry if that's the case then. I'm positive that you don't get to wake up whenever you want like me if you have work. You also can't afford to visit the beauty salon 3 times a week with minimum wage. Plus, you probably have to work your butt off every day in order to afford housing. I mean, do you even get any weekends or holidays off? People who are at the bottom of society must go to work 8 hours a day just to stay off of the streets. That's why it's better to use your head and marry into a wealthy family like I did.
Yeah, whatever you say. People work because they want to accomplish all kinds of goals in life through their own effort. On the other hand, you do nothing but leech off of others. Guess what? You can never predict the future. This world changes way too fast these days. To me personally, it's necessary to prepare yourself for those changes. So if I lose my job, then I lose financial stability as well. And I don't want to depend on anyone else from now on. I want to become independent.
I mean, it's too bad that you're destined to live paycheck to paycheck. How pathetic, right? But oops, maybe I shouldn't have said this, because now you might be even more jealous of me. Tell you what, you can get the best view of this sunflower field from the balcony of my cottage. Looking back on my life, I realized that I had no worries at all about anything money-related.
Cottage? Did you guys move from the house Ted and I used to live in?
You noticed? To answer your question, yeah, we did. Ted was promoted a while ago and got a pay raise consequently. That's why we decided to move into a cottage.
Well, that's good for you.
Of course! Our neighborhood has ranked #1 for security 4 years in a row. Although we're not located in the city center, there is a gym built just for the residents. Also, I walk my dog around this beautiful river 2 miles away from my house. By the way, the name of our neighborhood is Green Tower. I'm sure that you've heard of it, right?
Wait a second first. Green Tower?
You heard it right! I bet that you're turning green with envy right now. Here's the thing. You can come and visit me sometime later. I'll show you what being young and rich means. I can even let you have a taste of the cake from the most expensive bakery in our area. We can also walk my dog together and take some pictures in that sunflower field if you want.
No, I'm good. I have no interest in wasting my precious time at your place.
Oh, wait, never mind, Cadence. I don't think that I can have you over anymore. Because you might not even be let in. I live in a gated community. The patrol team here doesn't allow paupers to visit.
Excuse me?
I mean, all of the residents at Green Tower are above the salt. After all, not everyone is economically advantaged enough to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on housing. With that being said, you could probably only come here if you're applying for the janitor position. You know, most of our visitors are either celebrities or business magnates. So like I said, you'd only be let in if you tell the patrol team that you're the new janitor here in our gym.
As far as I'm concerned, you're neither a celebrity nor business magnate. You're nothing but a homewrecker. Plus, janitors deserve to be respected for what they do. But you don't.
Lay off those excuses of yours. Just admit defeat at this point, you loser. I mean, no matter what you say, I am the one living in a splendid cottage with your ex-husband. As for you, you don't even have the slightest idea what it feels like to be on top of the world.
Thanks for paying me rent this entire time.
What?
I'm pleased to learn that life isn't treating you so horribly in my cottage. I'm on cloud 9 to think that my tenant is enjoying a happy life at my house. What's more, you and Ted wire me $10,000 per month anyway. I have nothing to protest about. Don't you think, Kylie?
Wait a second first. What do you mean, your house?
I should have known earlier that you two are my tenants. I mean, I had some uncertainties about leasing my property to a couple who have the same names as you and Ted, but now everything's crystal clear. What a coincidence. Am I right?
Your property? This is all too much for my brain to process at the moment. What are you talking about? Are you out of your mind or something?
Calm down first, jeez. I can explain everything to you. The cottage that you won't stop boasting about belongs to me in reality. That's why I'm thanking you for paying the rent. I couldn't have put an end to being homeless if it wasn't for you guys.
Excuse me? There's absolutely no way in the world for you to be the owner of a cottage. The homeowner association fee alone is exorbitant here. I mean, Ted pays over $10,000 a month for rent alone. In other words, this cottage has nothing in common with you. I will never believe what you just said.
Sure, you can believe me or don't believe me. It's up to you. I'm only telling you the truth.
Convince me if you can. Because if not, then you better keep your silence and scram.
To put it simply, one of my acquaintances is a filthy rich lady. I was left with this cottage after she passed away.
Is this for real? You inherited this cottage after she passed away?
Yeah. I stayed at her place when I had nowhere else to go. She was generous enough to let me live there for free while I went on a job hunt. In exchange, I did all of the house chores. Anyways, we developed a very close relationship over the course of years.
So you're saying that she put your name on the deed to this property?
In the end, yes. That's how things turned out to be. I mean, I was the youngest out of all the homeless people out there, and the only female. With that being said, this generous lady told me not to worry. She'll see what she can do for me. She introduced me to my current employer, and I began to save money while working there. Then one day, I got a call from the hospital saying that she passed out. I rushed there immediately upon learning the news and was told somebody has to take care of her 24/7 from now on. Obviously, I took that role and became her primary caregiver.
Seriously?
I mean, she does have a son, but he's very busy with work and is often overseas. The lady's family said that it'd do them a great favor if I could move in with her. Fast forward a couple years, her son and I watched her till she took her last breath. In her will, she wrote, "Cadence is a very strong girl. I wish her nothing but happiness for the rest of her life." What's more, she also took care of asset division beforehand.
She really willed you the cottage. It's worth millions of dollars, though. Are you even aware of this?
Yeah. I mean, of course I turned her offer down at first. But her son insisted that I take it because I deserve it. He told me he really appreciated my taking care of his mother all this while. That this cottage was a gift of gratitude from his mother. He also went on to say that he is the owner of countless properties, so nothing much will change for him even if I take this one.
This can't possibly be true. Is that lady a realtor or something? Because even her son is so generous with you. He must be sitting on a gold mine if he's willing to gift you an entire house. You could probably even search his name up on the internet.
I know that we are very different, and never once in my life have I coveted his belongings or status. His number of assets is none of my business. All I know is that I'm blessed with the life I have right now thanks to them. I guess I wouldn't be standing here in front of you if that generous lady didn't help me out back then. Anyways, I am fairly occupied with property management and maintenance at the moment. It requires more energy and time than you think. Still, the income yielded from rent alone every month is more than enough for me to live a comfortable life. In other words, I have no more financial troubles.
What the heck? This can't be true. Remember, there ain't no such thing as a free lunch in this world. You're only allowed to eat crumbs from the rich man's table. And that's me. Be honest, you're just bluffing, aren't you? I've never known you as a showboat. But if that's what makes you feel better about yourself, then go ahead. I mean, you're nothing but a beggar. And a beggar will always stay a beggar. Beggars don't have the power and right to defy what fate already has in place for them. More importantly, do you know how long it took me to live in a cottage like this? Yet you're telling me that it's yours. Do you think that this all makes sense? You must be a great storyteller, because I was this close to buying it.
Yeah, whatever. I gotta go now. I have other things to do. Enjoy having your nails done and eating expensive cakes. Also, you can continue to have a blast in my cottage. Despite how you and Ted tortured me in the past, I'm earning money off of you two currently, so I don't mind.
Wait a second first. This is totally unfair. You're just a down and outer. I will never believe a single word you told me. Plus, I'm not done talking. You're being really rude right now. Let me finish my sentences before you walk out like that.
What else do you want then? I already told you everything that you need to know. What's more, it's not like your life is about to take a bad turn from now on. Nothing will change for you and your husband.
If you're really the property owner, then prove it. Or else I can only see you as a liar and lunatic. By that, I mean you should lease this house to us for free. Stop charging us money for living here. We're actually not as well off as you think we are. Anyways, I'm assuming that this wouldn't be possible for you, right? Think about our friendship before you answer my question. I swear to God, it'll be a good deal for you as well.
Yeah, it's possible. The only problem is that it's not happening. I'm not a moron. I also am not a philanthropist. I especially hate scumbags like you two. Plus, what do I get out of it? I'm thinking nothing. So forget about it. Don't make me regret renting my house to you. Keep in mind that I retain the right to evict any tenant whenever I want to.
But you'll be of service to your best friend. Me! I mean, why can't you help me out now that you're loaded? Let's just let bygones be bygones from now on.
Excuse me?
I still have my doubts in regards to you being a homeowner. That's why I'm saying that you should stop charging Ted and Di rent if you want to prove yourself. What do you think about my suggestion? We're best friends, aren't we?
I'm honestly in shock right now of how shameless you are. Seriously, though. But I feel like an idiot for being friends with someone like you in the first place.
Sure, whatever. It's just that I've been thinking to myself about how expensive the rent is for a long time now. I admit that the facilities and views are not bad. But still, $10,000 a month is way too high. Nonetheless, now I know why that is the case, though. This is the only way you could put food on the table. Am I right?
Excuse me?
If you don't want to hear rumors about you in the entire neighborhood, then let us live here for free. I mean, at least give us 50% off or something. Or else I'll expose the fact that you're nothing but a tramp to everyone in the community. You don't want to see that happen, right?
I don't understand. The rent right now is already well below market price. Don't you know? With that being said, I really can't make it any cheaper for you in spite of that event.
What do you mean? What event are you talking about?
Wait, didn't you hear anything from Ted when you first moved in? A tragic event took place in that cottage. That's why the rent is 40% below market price.
Are you being serious right now? How come no one told me about it? I have no idea about what this tragic event is. So what about it specifically? Is this a joke or what?
No, it's not a joke. The last tenant died in that cottage. That's why someone can rent the whole property, including access to all facilities, for only $10,000 a month.
This can't possibly be true. Still, $10,000 a month is not the same as $5,000.
Anyways, your husband Ted is aware of everything that I just said. He signed a contract as well. Double-check the document and you should see his signature on there if you don't trust me. I'm just the landlord. So I suggest that you discuss any concerns or objections with Ted directly.
Did you really have to tell Kylie everything about the cottage? I hid what happened in this cottage from her on purpose because I was sure that she's going to raise hell if she ever comes to find out.
I know that you don't want to tell her the truth.
Of course I don't. Every other single-family home she wants to live in has a rent over $10,000 per month. Which means that I can't ever afford to put a roof over our heads in a million years. Besides, she wouldn't stop babbling on and on about how much she likes it here as soon as we took a tour of the neighborhood. That's why I had no other choice but to cave in. Look what you have done! Now she's insisting that we move.
It's not my fault, though. The two of you are a married couple. So please figure everything out yourselves.
Shut up! Here's the thing. If you really want to make up for the hot mess that you made, then let us live here for free. I mean, you have to take responsibility for the inconvenience you caused others. Am I right?
Have you ever heard of the proverb, like attracts like? Because that's what you and Kylie are.
Say less and do what I tell you to. Keep in mind that you could never rent this cottage to someone successfully if it weren't for Kylie and I. In exchange for the rent, I'll introduce you to this gym rat I'm friends with. You should be familiar with him. I'm sure that it'll do for you, right? Come on. You should give up that high standard of yours at this point. You'll only get disappointed in the end.
Wait a second first. This is not the first time you brought up this topic. I remember turning you down very firmly last time. Didn't I? Plus, don't tell me that this gym rat is your boss you talked about last time. Because if it is him, then I'm telling you right now to not even think about it anymore.
You got me. Haha. I guess you're not that much of a moron after all. Anyways, I don't know anyone else who suits you other than him. But guess what? I showed him a picture of you the other day and he seemed madly in love after that. There were little red hearts in his eyes. So you better catch this opportunity before it's gone. I'm 100% positive that no one else would fall head over heels like my boss did over a vagabond.
Let me correct you on something. He's not madly in love with me. He was surprised to see my picture. Make sure to get your brain checked out in the hospital if you happen to always misunderstand other people's true intentions. In fact, your boss reached out to me. I guess I really owe you a lot, Cadence. Not only did you look after my mom, my employee also seems to have been bothering you lately. These are his own words.
What are you talking about?
Did Kylie not tell you how I became a homeowner?
Of course she told me about it. An old lady left the property to you after she passed away.
That lady has a son. And he is also your boss. He was the one who assured me that it's totally all right for me to call the cottage my own. He really is just as generous as his mother. I mean, after his mother passed away, he still checks in with me regularly to see how I'm doing.
Are you being serious right now?
You called him some ugly names, didn't you? But guess what? What he told me is something totally different from what you said. This is the employee of mine whom I don't know how to deal with. I mean, he won't leave and go home even after everyone's gone already. At this point, I'm starting to think that it might not be the wisest choice to keep him here. That's how your boss commented on you. Now you know you're standing in the workplace, right?
Wait a second first. Does he not like me or something? I literally work my butt off every day, though. That's why I'm the last one to leave work every day.
But according to your boss, this is not the real reason why you're the last one to leave. In fact, you make a ton of mistakes and never finish the tasks given to you on time. I guess that's why your employer is having second thoughts on whether you really deserve to get paid for what you do.
What did you just say?
Let me tell you this, but your boss is an extremely charming man. He told me, I work not to make a living. I work because it's my passion. And of course, I am responsible for my employees. See? That's why he's always punctual, no matter what happens. He gives work 110% of concentration and precision. Even now, he's trying to crack the code on how to maximize efficiency while minimizing cost. To put it shortly for you, every single one of his accomplishments consists of blood, sweat, and tears.
What?
What's more, He has been generating significant profit with what his mother has left him. Anyways, I've never seen someone so perfect like him in my life. You, on the other hand, are the polar opposite.
Wait a second first. I'm very confused about what's going on right now. If you're pulling a prank on me right now, then you better stop before I lose my cool. I mean, what are you even trying to get at? Are you messing around with me or something? What kind of person is my boss really? Oh wait, don't tell me that my boss is actually the cream of the crop. It's just that he never acts like it. So how am I supposed to know?
Not actually. He has been the cream of the crop all along. On the contrary side, you can only be labeled as the bottom of the barrel. Am I right? Anyways, this is the person whom you looked down upon earlier. Now, do you regret what you've done in the past? Well, it's too late even if you do. I mean, I can't believe that a douchebag like you can work for him in the first place. He's a nice person, but that doesn't mean you can walk all over him. Tell you what, your boss's net worth is over $10 million. He could be worth more, but as far as I'm concerned, 10 million is an understatement. All in all, he is a one-of-a-kind genius. Someone you can never dream to be even if a miracle was to take place.
What the heck? I always thought of him as some sort of nerd. I mean, he's quiet all the time and doesn't seem to mingle with the others. But he's worth that much? Why didn't you tell me this earlier then? I could have asked him for a pay raise or bonus. You must be kidding me.
You should just be glad that you are not fired at this point. Here's the thing. He's my acquaintance. Or should I say that we're basically family? After all, we went through a lot together. Also, we both enjoy being single and have no plans of marriage in the near future. So you better start minding your own business from now on. Above all, I will not reduce the rent by even 1 cent. I mean, if you're not satisfied with the rent, then get the hell out of here.
Come on. You can't do this to me. I'll sue you for fraud if you don't reduce the rent. Trust me, I will put what I say into action.
If you wish to file a claim against me or something, then go ahead. I'm positive that no one will be on your side. But giving it a try won't hurt, you know. Keep in mind, though, that you're going to be evicted before you can get a chance to do so. This won't be the ideal situation for you, will it? Anyways, that's everything I have for you. I gotta go now. Goodbye. By the way, thank you for divorcing and kicking me out 7 years ago. Without you, I could have never become the person I am now. After that, Kylie blew a huge fuse at Ted. She blamed him for being such a half-wit and even threatened to divorce him. She yelled at him for making her live in a haunted house. Who knows if ghosts and spirits are coming for us soon? They better move right now. And that's how they moved to another single-family home with the same rent. The only downside is that this neighborhood doesn't have fantastic facilities and views like Green Tower does. What's more, their new place is much smaller and unkempt compared to my cottage, although they both cost $10,000 per month. This riled Kylie up again and she threw a fit. Her anger hit the ceiling and she even started hurling furniture across the room. She screamed, "I want to live in a mansion bigger than the cottage that Cadence owns. It's not fair that she lives a better life than I do." This seems to have rubbed Ted the wrong way as well, because he screamed at her back for being too selfish.
$10,000 is all I can afford for housing. So if you don't like it here, then get out, you dirty wench. You're nothing but a housewife. I wouldn't have divorced Cadence if I knew you're this materialistic.
As of right now, the two of them pretty much fight like cats and dogs on a daily basis. They're at each other's throats so much that things can get physical and heated sometimes. I'm almost certain that they're inching close to divorce at this point. But I don't feel bad for them at all, as I believe that Ted and Kylie are only getting a taste of their own medicine. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when a new video comes out. Don't forget to also leave a comment below, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, sis. You've just been staying here holed up in your room all day, haven't you? Have you even looked out the window yet today? Do you even know whether it's sunny or warm or snowing outdoors? I can't even get any peace and quiet over here anymore because Mom won't stop sighing that you always just stay in your room and never want to eat any meals with her.
What? Mom only cooks for herself. She even gets mad whenever I try to use the kitchen. So I have no other choice than to buy my meals at a gas station or a cheap takeout restaurant. So now I need to bring my store-bought food to eat with her while she eats a meal she cooked only for herself. What kind of nonsense is that? I do see what you're saying, but I just can't enjoy eating with her while she won't stop complaining like this. By the way, you're actually here, texting me from your room instead of just talking to me?
Yes, I am. I'm sort of busy. It's a holiday weekend after all, and I guess I do actually need to show my face around there once in a while.
I just saw you only 2 weeks ago.
It's my own family home, so I can decide on my own whether or not to go there, whenever I choose.
I guess that's true.
As for right now, I'm just relaxing at my own pace.
That's ridiculous. You're sending text messages from the next room.
Well, it's actually a real hassle just to walk up the stairs every single time I need to say anything to you. I just mean, well, the real problem is, do you even know what the real problem is?
I guess I don't. So just what exactly is the real problem?
Alright, please listen to me. I graduated from a good college, and I joined a big company.
Yeah, I guess I understand.
Rather quickly, I became the best at my job in the entire department. Everyone depends on me, and my boss loves me.
Wow, that's great. You must be very proud of yourself for all of that.
And now, can you see that you're the problem?
Me? What problem have I ever caused?
Your final education was from a vocational school.
But that doesn't matter because I graduated with the skills to do what I wanted to do.
No, the problem is much bigger than that.
Problem? What problem?
Well, the problem is just that. You're just loafing around right now, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
You just stay at home all the time. Don't just depend on our mom forever. Get dressed, go outside and get a job. What I mean is, kids who grow into adults and then just stay at home depending on their parents forever are eventually told to get out. Even technical graduates can at the very least try to contribute to society in some small way. If you don't even get a job, you won't ever be able to amount to anything out in the real world.
No, you've still got it all wrong. I already explained all of this to you before. As I told you, I don't work for a company, but I do have a job. I work from home.
Oh, yes, you like to say you're freelancing. Isn't that right?
If you have any idea what freelancing is, why do you keep telling me to get a job?
Life in this world is never so easy.
What are you even talking about now?
Well, you see, a natural-born genius like me can do anything excellently with ease. But freelancers like you can produce only average results, no matter how hard you try.
It is true, not everyone can be a total success in this world all the time. But I'm lucky enough to always find work for my skills. After all, that's the only reason I chose to go to vocational school in the first place.
Oh, so you went to a vocational school to learn to be a loafer. Do you even have any small idea of how hilarious you sound?
For a self-proclaimed genius, you're still missing the whole point of what's really going on here. You don't even have any idea of what technical school I actually went to in the first place.
I just don't want to bother my genius brain with any useless information. Please don't ever associate me with a half-brained like you.
So you think it's useless information? And just what's so useless about it?
Well, it's useless now that it's only helping an incompetent like you to feel good about yourself.
Just what exactly do you think you mean by now?
Be patient. Don't worry. Just sit right there and wait. You'll find out in a little while.
Hannah, may I ask you something? Sure, anytime, Mom. What is it? You need to get all your things out of this house. Make sure you have every last thing out of here before the end of the week. What? First of all, that's not even a question. Second of all, are you actually telling me to get out of the house? Yes, that's exactly right. You need to get every last one of your things out of this house. And you need to make it quick. But why in such a hurry all of a sudden? What exactly is going on? Kenny is gonna come back home, and I need you to open your room. What are you even talking about? Who cares if he comes back? I don't. You've always just kept his room for him all the time before. So why do you think you need my room all of a sudden? Well, you do know about working remotely from home, don't you? Yes, of course I know all about those sorts of things. Well, I heard that Kenny's company is going to give him an opportunity to work remotely from home very soon. So he's thinking of taking this opportunity to come back home since he'll be able to work from home. But he said he wants to keep his private life and his working life completely separate, so he'll need an entire room absolutely dedicated only to his very important work. Okay, so that's actually the only reason you're telling me to leave? Yes, that's exactly the reason you need to leave. And I think it's an important opportunity for you too. What are you talking about? How is your kicking me out of the house a good opportunity for me? Oh, I think you know exactly what I mean. You never actually work. You always just stay in your room all day long every day, playing video games on your computer all the time. No, that's not at all the way it is. As I have told you so many times before, I am working from home. Kenny told me all about you. You're only just a part-time worker, isn't that right? What? No, I'm a freelance worker, not a part-time worker. Okay, so the words aren't exactly the same, but the substance is just exactly the same. And Kenny says that you don't make very much money at all. I make a decent amount of money. I've shown you the money I'm paid in the history of my online bank statements. You don't remember? Kenny told me that it's easy to fake information on the internet. What? So you believe what Kenny told you over what you saw with your own eyes? I believe him because he's better than you. Who's never had any real job. I can trust him a lot more than I can trust you. What's all that you just said? Well, anyway, you just have to have all of your things out of here before the end of the week. Kenny's going to start working from home next week, so I need to hurry up and have his new work office all ready for him. I'm gonna ask you again just to be sure. Are you sure I really have to leave? That's exactly what I am telling you. It is very simple and clear. I will not allow you to stay here and keep walking in and out of the door of this house until you get a real job. Understand?
So, sis, have you moved out yet?
Yes, I have. The truck carrying away all of my things has already left. I've left too. I took a train.
Well, okay then. So, from today on, your room is mine. The next time you visit, you can sleep in the living room.
Oh, by the way, your package was delivered by FedEx.
I made them guarantee that it would arrive today.
That's all fine, but for all the talk about working remotely from home, were there any computer-related boxes?
Why?
What do you mean by asking why? Computer boxes always have stickers that say this side up and fragile. The only fragile sticker on any of the boxes says it's a TV box. So maybe your computer equipment will arrive later in separate boxes?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't need to take anything like that home with me. All of that's already there at home.
Are you really so sure everything you need to work from home is already there?
Well, I'll be home soon to check on everything.
Oh. How are you so near to home already?
I wasn't so very far away at all. I was just killing time at a nearby family restaurant. I need to go for now. I'll talk to you later. Hey, sis. What is going on here? Why is there nothing left here?
What are you asking about?
Your room is completely empty. Why is your room empty? Where did you put everything that was in here?
Where did I put everything? The movers put all of it into the moving truck to take it where I'm moving. Mom told me to be very sure to get all of my things out of that room, every last thing out, before the end of the week. I wasn't given any choice, not even any warning. All of a sudden, I was told that I need to be completely out in just a few days. It was very clear.
What? Why did you bring it all with you?
What do you mean asking me why? Of course I took all of my things. I only did exactly what I was told I had to do.
If you're gonna take things with you, you should only take the things that you actually bought for yourself with your own money. You especially need to return the computer right away. I'm using it.
What in the world are you talking about? I bought everything in my room by myself with my own money, including my computer. So of course I'm taking my own computer with me.
Don't even try talking such total nonsense to me. How can someone who went to college just to do nothing ever get money to buy a computer like that with such specs and price tag?
I earn fine money as a freelance worker.
Freelance worker? You're completely incompetent. You can't do any real freelance work. There's just no way you could ever afford to buy any computer like that with your own money.
I make just as much money as any office worker my age.
Oh, stop telling me such ridiculous lies.
If you don't believe me, ask her cousin Michelle.
Michelle? Why?
Because she works at the computer store where I bought the computer. She understands computers well, so I asked her to help me find just the right computer for my work. Many computers which are sold as work-from-home computer system just don't have the right specs for the kind of freelance work I'm doing. She also saw me pay for the computer with my own bank card, with my name right there on it, which proves very clearly that it is my computer. Anyway, I bought that computer with money from a part-time job while I was attending vocational school, preparing for my future. So it doesn't have anything to do with how much money I'm making right now.
Okay, fine, I understand. It doesn't matter anymore how much money you're making. Just bring the computer back here right away for me to use from now on.
No, I'm not bringing my work computer back there for you to use. I need my computer every single day for my work.
If you're really making so much money, isn't it time for you to buy a new computer anyway? So bring that computer back right here.
Well, to begin with, you want to use a computer to work remotely from home for your company, don't you? Shouldn't your company give you a computer to use to work from home? Or at least cover the cost of everything you need to work from home?
Well, no, not exactly.
Well, anyway, don't wait too long to tell Mom that you actually went and got yourself fired from the company you're pretending that you're going to continue working for remotely from home.
Hey, what are you talking about?
The remote work system was actually introduced more than 6 months ago. Your company chose you to be one of the charter members to test out the idea because you used to be an excellent employee in one way or another. However, when it came time to start doing real work from home, they found out that you'd become lazy and were not actually doing any real work anymore at all. So now you're moving back home to live with Mom because you couldn't find any other job and you couldn't afford to pay the rent for your apartment.
Hey, how did you even know any of that?
I have a good friend working at that company.
What? Who?
I think it's time for me to go now. I get motion sickness when I use my phone while riding the train, so I need to stop for now. Bye!
Hey!
Bye for now! Hannah, hello? Come on, hello? What? I just got a call from one of your father's relatives telling me that I'm 3 months behind on my rent and that I need to pay it up to date as soon as possible. What is all of this about? Kenny says he doesn't remember ever hearing anything about it. Do you know anything about any of this? What? You haven't been paying the rent? No, of course I haven't been paying any rent. Why should I be paying rent when I own the house? Huh? What are you talking about? You don't own that house. None of us actually own that house. That house is a rental? A rental? What do you mean? That house was originally rented to us at a reasonable price by a great uncle of Dad's side of the family, who is the landlord. That house is his house. He owns it, not any of us. But when you and Dad divorced 4 years ago, you just wouldn't stop complaining that you wanted to continue to live in the house. so we felt we had no choice but to continue living there on the condition that we'd pay rent at a fair price from now on.
What? Wait a minute. So do you mean that all of that rent was actually being paid by someone up until just 3 months ago? There's no way that my ex-husband's been paying for it, and Kenny didn't get a job until last year. So where on earth has all of that rent money been paid from all of this time?
I was paying it all of that time because I was the only one who was able to pay it.
What?
Well, you only work part-time and only 3 or 4 days a week, so I had no other choice but to pay it. Nobody else was able to. Don't you remember? I already explained all of this to you when you kicked me out of the house. I told you that I'd contact your great-uncle and that you'd need to figure out how to start paying the rent without me.
No, wait a minute. That's just not possible. You don't earn that kind of money, not at all.
I have told you many times, I'm earning my keep. I'm making good money as a freelance graphic designer, just as I've been telling you.
You have? I don't remember.
Yes, I've been telling you. I've told you many times, but you never believe me. Or maybe you just never actually listen to anything that anyone tells you. Your lifelong refusal or inability to really listen to anyone at all actually just might be one of the biggest reasons for your divorce from Dad. When we talked about what to do with the house, you just kept saying, "Give me this house," over and over without even listening to any of what Dad was saying to you at all. "If you don't give me this house, I won't let you divorce me," you kept telling him. You just kept pleading and ranting like a child, throwing tantrums continually, until I eventually got you to talk it over with Dad and our great-uncle.
What? I don't remember any of that at all.
It was horrible. I already wanted to leave home, but I couldn't because somebody needed to pay the rent. But if I did that, nobody'd be able to pay the rent. And at that time, Kenny was still a student in school, so I had no choice but to stay at home with you and pay the rent all on my own.
Oh, now I see what's really been going on this whole time. So first of all, please transfer the entire past due rent and all future rent payments to my bank account. So that's 3 months' rent you need to send to me right now, and then you'll need to always send me each month's rent before it's due. I don't want him to be calling me about the rent ever again. It made me a complete nervous wreck the entire afternoon.
What? You kicked me out of the house, remember? And now you're actually trying to demand that I start paying the rent again? While I'm not even living there? I guess you really have no idea at all how crazy you're sounding right now, do you?
Well, but
you and Kenny kicked me out of the house. You told me that I needed to have every last one of my things out of that house before the end of the very same week from when you first sprang that one on me out of nowhere.
Well, things have changed.
No, from now on it's up to you two who are actually living there to work it out on your own.
Where are you even living right now?
I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to be interrupting my work. So this is goodbye. When my mom told me to get out of the house, I called my father, who now lives far away. He thanked me for all of the hard work that I'd done. When I heard how thankful he was for my paying the rent and also for everything else I'd done, I couldn't help myself, and I just cried uncontrollably. Now I'm living alone in the same state as my father. My mother once contacted my father to request that they get back together, but he sidestepped her offer and just continued the conversation only to find out how they were doing. My mother and brother, who couldn't afford to pay the rent, were evicted from the house and had to move into a one-room apartment together. Now my brother has become the ultimate loafer, but he started calling himself a freelance genius. Mom has been working more part-time jobs to support him, but they're constantly quarreling and are nearly always at odds with each other. Well, I don't worry about any of that very much anymore, because I consider my mother and brother to be completely removed from me and my life. Thank you for watching. Please rate our videos and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.